So we've talked a little bit about serializing, and I kind of want to get to the point where you can really serialize anything. It doesn't have to be just single notes from the scale, from the chromatic scale. You can use anything you want, literally anything. As long as you have an ordered list of, or not even an ordered list, just a list of items, you can make anything. And let me show you how that works, okay? So let's say we have 4 different blanks represented by 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? And we can make a 4x4 matrix instead of a 12x12. You can even go bigger than 12x12, okay? But let's say we have this, okay? So we're gonna use really simple symbols. I can draw maybe a red star, a blue circle. This is just for the complete abstract form of this idea, okay? And maybe a purple triangle, okay? So we have these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can choose an arbitrary thing to go at the top, okay? It doesn't really matter. Let's go really random. Let's go with the circle first, the square next. We have to go with the star, otherwise it'll be in order, right? So the star is next, and finally the triangle, okay? Oops, that's an A. There's a triangle. Okay, so all we have to do now is, again, that was our first thing. You put your row here, right? First, make the row. The second is the diagonal. Diag for diagonal. And that means we have to keep this element the same all the way down. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we put the circle here. Okay, now we jump row to row. If you remember, all we have to do is find the one right before the circle in this case. So the star goes up to the circle. So the star goes up to the circle. All we have to do from this row to this row is add 1. Okay? So if we do that, the star gets added by 1 to get the circle. The triangle adds 1 and goes around again. So all we're doing is shifting, right? Basically this thing right here. Okay? So the triangle becomes a star. Triangle becomes a star. The square becomes a triangle. This is a little bit abstract, so I'm making sure I'm getting the points correct here. And then finally, we have our square here. Again, you should only have 1 element per each one. In fact, you can already guess what this one is, right? Because it's missing 1 element. So that's kind of cute. That's really nice. You can find out the missing element really quick. Okay, but let's keep going in the order that we know. So the new star, which is this one, is going down to this row because that's where the circle is. We're doing this relationship again. The circle becomes a square. Circle becomes a square. We already know the triangle becomes a star, so that's good. The square becomes a triangle. And now we only have 1 row left. We can do the same thing, find our star and go here and just add 1, or we can just fill in what's missing, okay? Because the matrix is relatively small, it's almost easier to do it this way, okay? So we need a triangle here, and we need a square here, okay? So this is really nice. In fact, we also have a diagonal here, which is kind of cool. I forget if that's normal for 4x4s or if that's just a coincidence for this one, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we can serialize this. Imagine, if you will, that these are 4 different boxes of cereal, because we're on serializing, right? So maybe this is cereal. Maybe you have 4 different cereals you really like, and without naming name brands, maybe you have to eat these all evenly, but you get tired of the same routine of this being Monday, this being Tuesday, this being Wednesday, this being Thursday, and then something else for Friday. Okay, so maybe you don't like your routine, so you want to serialize your cereal, and you totally can. So here, if you wanted to keep it really simple, you just go in order here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and that's a lot of days of eating cereal, right? So you'd be set. But again, you could have your different cereals, and you would have 1 each 1/4 of the time, right? If you complete all the rows. Okay, so you can serialize anything. You can do this with 4. If you do it with 1, it's kind of pointless, right? Because you would just have, if that's your only element, that would be a 1x1, right? So that's kind of pointless, but 2x2 is really simple. 3x3 is kind of simple. 4 is where it starts getting more interesting, and then 5 and higher gets pretty scrambled up. Okay, so go ahead and try to serial other things. I suggest starting with a low number first, just so you get the idea. Use things that are important to you, maybe colors or hobbies or something like that, or favorite foods or something like that. Okay, so again, you can serialize anything, but which is kind of cool.